What is up, you guys? Today, we are going to be answering the question of whether you should go custom or you should go with a template home. I will be sharing my personal experience as well as the experiences of a lot of my clients. And today's beer is from Tupps, Double Dry Hopped Indian Ale Series 2. This is a 7% beer. It is a double IPA Series 2. I don't really know what that means, but I love me some Tupps. If you guys have been watching our channel for a while, you probably are like, why do they have so much Tupps? And it's because, honestly, I want them to sponsor me because I freaking love their beers. They are phenomenal beers. If you don't know Tupps, go check them out. This beer is great. So good, especially if you like IPAs. Such a good drink. 7%, you have to be careful, especially at a 16 ounce, but regardless, let's just dive into today's topic. Talk about custom versus template. We're gonna break it down into 4 different topics just to give you guys a little bit of an outline. But the first one, I'm gonna define them. I'm gonna tell you what they are. 2, we're gonna talk about price points, what you can expect on either side of the aisle. Number 3, we're gonna talk about the pros and the cons. Focus a little bit more on the negatives of each to give you an idea of, do I really wanna deal with that? And number 4, I'm gonna give you my personal perspective on both. So let's talk about number 1. What are they? With a custom home, it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a custom home. You can do whatever you want. You want 3-foot ceilings, put 3-foot ceilings. You want 40-foot ceilings, put 40-foot ceilings. You can do whatever you want. You can customize it. There's a lot of celebrities that buy or build custom homes. I'm thinking of the NBA. Shaq, he's known for putting really tall countertops in his homes. Why? He's tall. He's also known for, putting probably really big bedrooms because he has really big beds. He's a big guy. So he customizes his house to meet his lifestyle and his need, right? When he's brushing his teeth, he doesn't want to be going like this. So he puts a taller counter so he can comfortably brush his. Everything like that you can do in a fully custom home. Where a template house, or also known as a inventory home or a spec home, those homes are already predetermined and pre-selected. So what that means is the floor plan's predetermined, or the colors are already predetermined, such as the flooring, cabinetry, all that. It has been spec'd out. All the specifics have been selected. It now becomes an inventory home, and it's built from a template. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more. Now, is that a bad thing? No. It's not like a template or an inventory home's not gonna have, 3 bedrooms that you need or 4 bedrooms that you need, whereas only a custom home would. No, there are pros and there are cons. And to be honest, there is an actual middle ground between both of these, which we're not going to talk about today, but I'm going to address a little bit towards the end. So let's talk about price. Custom homes. Custom homes are expensive. That's just the truth. It's a luxury, and it's not something that honestly most people get to do. Getting to pick everything under the moon, everything from even what kind of materials are used to purchase, or to what kind of materials are used to construct that home. And I know when you're thinking like, what do you mean like materials? Yeah, is your home gonna be constructed with 2x4s or 2x6s? Is it gonna be spray foam insulation? Or is it gonna be, your regular fiber insulation? Everything from the type of windows to the type of wiring that's used, plumbing, is it PEX or is it copper? All this stuff you can completely customize and pick in your home. Now, there are pros and there are cons to that. Depending on where you're living and depending on the builder, there might be pros to saying, you know what, I'm gonna upgrade the insulation, or I'm gonna do that. For the record, I'm not saying that that doesn't exist in the template or inventory home, but again, it's already been spec'd out. Everything's been predetermined, it's been picked for it, so you can't really make too many changes. So, custom homes. Custom homes, they typically, you can expect them, at least in my area, to be well over $1 million. Well over $1 million because you pay for what you get. Now, can you get a pre-built custom home? Yes, you can, and you'll hear that in like a lot of listings. Maybe you're on Zillow and it says, oh, custom home. Really what that means is that house is original. That floor plan is unique. Everything in it was customized for, that particular house. The type of custom home that I'm talking about is the one where you actually meet with the builder, the developer, the architect, the engineer, and everything in between to fully customize that house. You can expect to be well into the millions to put in the level of customization that at least I see. Whereas with a template home, at least in my area, you can start as low as $250,000 and have phenomenal incentives to purchase that home. And yeah, those can also go well into the millions, okay? So it's not to say that, oh, you purchased a template, inventory, or spec home, oh, you're cheap. Absolutely not. I know several $1 million homes that started off as spec homes, which for the record, if you really think about it, those custom homes that I mentioned that have already been spec'd out are kind of inventory homes. So price. If price is a thing and you have a certain budget that you want to maximize, you maybe want to maximize the number of upgrades, you maybe want to maximize the number of square footage, or you want to just pick the lot that suits best for your family, maybe in terms of I want an acre and you don't just have money to blow, then the inventory or spec home is going to be the best use of your money. If you have money to blow and you've made it in life and you're successful, amen to you, go the custom route. Build that house of your dreams, do what you want, add those weird quirks, an indoor trampoline, an indoor pool, whatever you want. Do it because you can, because it is a custom home. Number 3. So now I want to get into the pros and cons. Again, I'm going to focus a little bit more on the negative. I'm going to start with custom home. That sounds all fine and dandy because you get to pick everything. But honestly, do you need to pick everything? Are you a professional interior designer? Do you know everything about construction? Do you know what questions to ask? Probably not. Not most people do, at least. So when you go the fully custom route, I tend to see people get really overwhelmed. Why? Because the options are endless. The truth is, you have to start from literally the ground zero. So first, we have to pick the lot, the dirt, the actual piece of land that you're gonna build. Then we have to get an engineer to test the soil. Then we have to get an architect. An architect needs to get involved to literally design the house. And then once they design the house, then you need an engineer to build out the schematics and the floor plan and put the floor plan into reality. Then you need to hire a builder. The builder is going to advise you on, what type of, maybe again, insulation and framing and blah, 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 all that stuff to you. Then once you get past that, now you need to pick all the design. And again, let's just say that you're like, well, it's okay, I'll hire an interior designer. That's another party that's now involved in the transaction or in the build of your home. That interior designer is also going to pose different questions to you. Do you want this gray or do you want that gray? Do you want this wood or do you want that wood? This wood is more durable, this wood is not as durable. Do you want tile? Do you not want tile? Do you want shaker style? Do you want more traditional? Do you want shiplap? Stop doing shiplap, it's out. Or do you want something else? Depending on what it is, most people tend to get overwhelmed because they're overwhelmed with the amount of options. On top of that, the other con that custom homes have is time. Custom homes take a long time. I just told you the amount of people that it takes to even get to the construction. We had to pick the lot, then the engineer, then we had the architect, then we had the engineer again. By the time you're there, you're a couple months in. Then you need a pool permit. And the reality is, when you start building that house, I promise you, 10 times out of 10, you're gonna be like, yeah, I don't really like that wall there. You know what, we should add a window there. We should do this. And then you make a change, and guess what? Pause again, because we need more permits. It's just, the reality is it takes a really long time. I saw this interview with Will Smith. Will Smith was saying that he remembers building his custom home and it took, I think, 2 years to do. And he was wondering, he's like, I don't even know if I like what I picked 2 years ago, which is really funny if you think about it. Someone like Will Smith designed this home of his dreams 2 years ago, and then now he's getting ready to move in and he's probably like, yeah, I don't really like this anymore. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case for you. I'm just saying that time is something to consider, because if you're moving in a year and you need to get things done, it could take a little bit longer than that. And you may even end up compromising on what you thought was your dream and being like, damn it, I should have put the dog wash in because I really wanted the dog wash, or whatever it may be. The pros of a custom home is you really can make it the dream, whatever you want, wherever you want, however you want it. There are many clients of mine that I know that live in custom homes and they love it. And it's literally built for them. In fact, me and my fiance talk about this all the time. I would put one of those Chick-fil-A ice makers for me to have Chick-fil-A ice all the time. We use a lot of reusable water bottles. We would put one of those water bottles inside of our kitchen for us to just refill our water bottles, have the perfect temperature. There's a bunch of little things like that we can customize and we can do in our custom home. Whereas maybe with a template or inventory home, you don't have the option. So let's talk about, again, the negatives of a template home. The complete opposite of everything I said. The negatives are you don't get to customize, you don't get to pick everything. That floor plan should, to the best of its ability, fit your needs. So if you're looking for a 4-bedroom and you want a den and an extra game room, then it has the 4 bedrooms, the den, and the game room. The flaw, maybe the bedrooms are all clustered together and you wanted the master to be completely separate from the kids and the guests, but now unfortunately you all share a hallway. Or the complete opposite. You're about to start a family and you want the master to be next to the kids' room, but it's on the completely other side of the house. So those are the things where you're still getting a house that meets your needs and allows you to live comfortably, but it's not exactly how you would want it. On top of that, you may be getting certain color schemes or certain materials, flooring, whatever it may be, that you may not have wanted. But I will say, with a template home, they're usually designed and built by professionals, which means the builder did it professionally using the best products, hopefully, or the best materials, assuming you're going with a reputable, warranted builder. So you're not an interior designer, you're not a professional. So again, once you put all that on or you design or what it is, you may realize, holy cow, I don't have the eye for design or fashion that I thought I did. One of the pros that I think that you can get with a template house is honestly, you maximize your budget. If you focus on the floor plan and the lot and the community and focus less on the details, you may be able to get the home in the perfect neighborhood, on the perfect lot, and honestly, maybe even the perfect floor plan. And you can go and paint, redo cabinets, redo flooring a little bit later, but you're saving thousands and thousands of dollars that you may have spent on an interior designer or a lot of other things. Whereas, again, with this, you were paying up front. You can do it over the course of time and really, again, put in that Chick-fil-A ice maker. You can put in that water dispenser a little bit down the line. So that is, in my opinion, the pros and the cons of both. They're not for everybody, and you shouldn't see one as better than the other. Okay, I take that back. There is one that's better than the other. I think we all agree custom is way better than the other. But there is a time and a place for each. So I don't want you to think that, oh, template is less than custom, because no, again, what if you're looking to move, whatever, you got relocated from New York to Texas, because that's where I am, and you want a 6,000 square foot home, luxurious and everything. Seriously, 6,000 square foot home plus that's super nice and comfy, that spec home is gonna be wonderful. And trust me, I've seen plenty of 6,000 square foot homes that are specced out and detailed and they're immaculate. And I'm honestly willing to put it up against some of the custom homes that I've seen that I'm like, yeah, you definitely didn't hire a professional to do this. Number 4, or the last topic, whatever, is my personal opinion. Kind of said it number right before this, but it really just depends where you are and what you're trying to achieve in life. And I know I say that in most of my videos, but there's a time and a place for everything. My first new construction purchase of my life was a template inventory home. I've said this before, there's a video on this that I've done. I purchased a D.R. Horton home. Now, if you get online, you can read reviews that D.R. Horton builds absolute trash and that the house is gonna fall and burn. And you can also read the complete opposite. D.R. Horton is America's largest home builder. They build thousands of homes a month. So yeah, there's gonna be some bad eggs. That's just the truth. But why did I choose to go with a template home or inventory home? Several reasons. Number 1 is incentives. The amount of incentives that a builder will put on an inventory home to get rid of it or sell it is insane. Why? Because they are paying on that loan. They've already borrowed the money from the bank to build that house, and it's costing them money every single day to keep that house in their inventory. So they would rather put massive incentives to sell that house than pay that interest to the bank. And those incentives you can capitalize on. Whereas with a custom home, they know you got money. They don't care. They're like, pay us, we'll build it. Don't pay us, we're not gonna build it. So depending on where you are in life, if you don't necessarily need those incentives, you may not even qualify for some of those incentives because you're just making it in life and you're the next Bill Gates or whatever. There's successful doctors and different things. Then you really should go the custom route. Make that house the one of your dreams. Again, how long are you gonna be in the house? Just a couple years or maybe 1 or 2 years and then you wanna rent it out? Why would you buy a fully custom house? Do you know how hard it is to rent out a 6,000 square foot home? No one's gonna be paying, well, there are some people, there are niche markets that are gonna be paying, $20,000 a month for your custom home and rent. Whereas if you went with a production or, a template home, that's more of a reasonable rent that you could charge and there's a bigger audience, so you'll probably have less vacancies. So in my opinion, which one is best? The answer is both. It depends where you are. You're barely getting started, you have a budget, and you are focused more about a safe home that meets your needs, go the template house. You're someone that has money and you can afford to splurge and you can afford to put in those luxuries in the home, go the custom route. Build that house that is completely all about you and comfortable to you and your family's needs. Is one better than the other? No. But let's assume apples to apples, like same situation, same financial situation, then yeah, custom is definitely better. But there's a time and a place for everything. I'm curious on what your thoughts are. Do you think that, I've raised valid points? Do you think I'm stupid in saying that people get overwhelmed? Because if you are, you're wrong. You're definitely wrong. I see it all the time. Or do you agree with me? Like, hey, maximize your budget, get the great lot, get the good community, take all those builder incentives and then make that house yours down the line? What are your thoughts? I'm curious. If you follow my channel, you know two things. We're all about new construction and we're all about good beers. So if you or anybody you know is in the market for a new construction home or honestly just wants to have a beer with me, click on the link below, schedule a call with me personally, and we'll be in touch. See you next week. Cheers.